Dinsmore Composite School sits on Treaty 6 territory. This land that we share has long been home to the Cree, Saulteaux, Nakota, Lakota, and Dakota peoples, and is homeland of the Métis. We are grateful that Treaty 6 has allowed us to live, work, learn, and celebrate together on this land. We commit to a continuing effort to build relationships in a spirit of reconciliation. Reconciliation honors Indigenous cultures, languages, traditions, and ways of life. Reconciliation raises awareness around issues that impact Indigenous people in Saskatchewan and across Canada. Reconciliation invites us all to develop renewed relationships based on openness. This year, Dinsmore Composite School was the recipient of a Saskatchewan Arts Grant, which allowed our school to connect virtually with 2 Indigenous teachers and artists and participate in the Ribbon Skirt Project and the Métis.art project. Through these 2 projects, students had an opportunity to build relationships with Indigenous artists and learn more about the issues affecting Indigenous people and communities. Liz Zadunik, a Métis educator, introduced grades 7 and 8 students to a traditional Métis art form called dot art. This traditional form of artwork had a modern twist, as students used canvas and acrylic paints to recreate traditional flower patterns. Art teacher Miss Celeste Tutusis joined us virtually as she led students in grades 1 through 8 through a project focused on learning more about Cree culture and the importance of the ribbon skirt. Celeste explained that the colors and the symbols woven into each skirt have personal meaning for Indigenous people. Using fabric and ribbons, students were invited to choose materials that would create a personal message on their skirts. Students then reflected on their learning by creating a short video, which was shared with their parents.
And ribbon skirts are very special, unique, and personal. And it shows me more than I ever used to know.
I learned that a ribbon skirt is important and worn at ceremonies. I also learned that the different colors, stripes, and symbols mean different things.
I learned that ribbon skirts are very important to the Indigenous people. They are considered an expression of history. I learned that ribbon skirts are historical and traditional clothing that honor Indigenous heritage.
I also learned that the females wear ribbon skirts and the males wear ribbon shirts.
I learned that the turtle is important to the Indigenous culture.
The one thing I learned about the ribbon skirts is that you only wear it for a special occasion.
Turtles are important to Indigenous people. The tree on my ribbon skirt, it represents growing plants, and the flowers I added for gardening because I like growing flowers and I enjoy having flowers.
I used green for what animals eat, and brown for the soil and Mother Earth.
Pink is for women, red is for missing First Nation women, blue is for water, and green is for nature.
I chose 2 blue ribbon stripes to represent clean water and clean air, and I chose the tree fabric because trees give off the oxygen we need to survive.
The red line means missing and murdered Indigenous women. The black line means success. The blue line means clean air and clean water. The green line means nature.
I decided to base the skirt off of the missing and murdered Indigenous women. I used the red ribbon to represent the missing and murdered Indigenous women. I used the blue ribbon to represent freedom and innocence. I used green to represent growth.
The medicine wheel is made up of 4 parts, so I used the 4 elements: wind, water, earth, and fire.
During our projects, DCS students also learned about the importance of the ribbon shirt when Sunwest School Division Director Mr. Randy Emerson gave a virtual presentation describing his ribbon shirt, which had been a gift from a teacher and former colleague, Victor Thunderchild. One of our staff members, Mrs. Thompson, also spoke to students about her ribbon skirt, which had been made by Vi Thunderchild. We would like to extend a sincere thank you to the Saskatchewan Arts Board for sponsoring such grants and allowing students like ours to engage in reconciliation and learning through the arts. We are so grateful to Celeste and Liz for their willingness to partner with our school as we continue our journey of understanding. Thank you for sharing your talents and your experiences with our students. We'd also like to extend our appreciation to our director, Mr. Emerson, for taking the time to meet with us online and share the story of your ribbon shirt and recognize the incredible work of Victor Thunderchild.